the goals and the 3 maximum points that you require. But again, it happened. So now going into the second leg, of course, I expect the coach Charles Haluvona to I think to prepare his the ladies, the team psychologically and mentally, because of course, like you said, where they are going in West Africa, of course, they should expect some intimidation and those. But again, that's where now you need to make sure that your team is readily prepared, and he should make sure that, if possible, the ladies should make sure that they get an early goal, and obviously try to push, if possible, for a second, because as it stands, a 0-0, should the game end 1-1, it means Zambia would qualify. So should any, I think, a draw that will be over 1-1, 2-2. It will favor the ladies to go through. So I think, and I heard the Lusaka Dynamo's striker in Mapepa, who is very much optimistic to say the ladies should go there and get maximum points. So the mood is high in camp, and obviously we expect a positive result this evening.
Chief Inspector, last week we were talking about Pumulo, the under-17 captain. She's been roped into the under-20 squad. She will be part of the squad. In terms of mental strength, is she ready, or are we using excitement?
I think she must be ready, because you know, the under-17 women's national team coming from South Africa, you know, Al-Kosafa. And then she's in a high mood, especially that you know, they won the tournament. So I'm sure Mulo would be in a very, you know, high mood and very confident, you know, coming into this game. And I'm happy that you know, it is expected that when Zambia is playing in West Africa, the environment is always very difficult. But I'm happy that looking at the training facilities that Zambia, you know, were given, they seemingly look to be okay. They are training at Cape Coast Stadium, which was they were offered. So going into you know, today's encounter, I see Zambia, of course. We drew at home, 0-0, and as Mo puts it, yes, if we record a 1-1 draw, meaning Zambia would have a good chance to progress to, you know, to the next round, which will make us face Uganda. Remember, Uganda also managed to beat South Africa. You know, so football, the way it is. It's a game of chances. Who predicted that Uganda would beat South Africa by a goal to 0? So Zambia, is possible that even today we can record a win away in Ghana.
Yes. Let's hope for the best. But first, let's listen to what Coach Charles Haluwono had to say ahead of the game.
The confidence is very high and the morale is very high. The level is okay now. Where we missed it is on the finishing part, but we have been working on that, and the inclusion of Vasi, it will assist, because we didn't have the killer passes in the midfield. The Ghanaians are very big, and most of our players are small, so we needed a player with such a body. I think she can manage and contain the Ghanaians and be able to challenge them in those 50-50 situations. The message, we have one thing in common to qualify. Because you saw Ghana, it's a very experienced team with equality players, but the girls managed to contain them. The only thing which missed in that game was a goal. So the morale is very high if they're able to withstand such kind of pressure. I think we are ready. We have one common goal to qualify.
Yes, we are ready indeed, and as fans, we are hoping for the best. Can Zambia do the unthinkable? Last time in 2014, we did it in South Africa. We went to the first World Cup. That's where the Grace Chandas were born, the Hazel Nalis were born, the Barbara Bandas. It was at such a stage that stars were born, and these are the stars that took us to the Olympics. Can this contingent that we have now emulate their elder sisters is something that we have to know at the end of 90 minutes. The game will kick off 17 hours Central African time. So in case you'd want to have any update, don't hesitate to give me a call. Okay. I mean, this is a crucial encounter, gentlemen. We've all agreed. And should we progress, we are facing Uganda. Another tough test. Another tough test for Zambia. It doesn't get any easier and more, does it?
Of course, Folex, if you want to be the best, you need to make sure that you beat the best. And of course, this is now where the ladies have to show themselves. Like you say, this is where the likes of Grace Chanda and the likes came from. So, of course, it's a good platform for the ladies to show what they have, because the world will be watching, and there will be other clubs that will be watching and wanting to get, obviously, the services of one or two players from there. And, of course, this is where, like you said, it can't get any better than this one. So let's make sure that we beat Ghana today and progress and face another tough opponent. And then, obviously, if God willing, if it comes to preparations, should we prepare adequately, and then we should be able to beat even the next opponent in Uganda, and obviously progress to the next round.
We are only wishing for the best. Let's get there. I mean, we are too strong. We are known to be too strong. Okay, let's listen to the captain before I get you, Melvin. This is what Evelyn Katongo had to say before departure.
So far, the preparations went on. Everyone is very much excited and very ready for the game. The morale is very high to each and everyone. Let's say it won't be easy, but we just have to work extra hard. We have to win the game because it's a must-win game. This game means a lot to us, so we just have to win. It's a must-win game. They just have to know that, let's say, those people won't treat us well. They'll be frustrating us. Yeah, so they just have to understand what will happen there and just focus on the game which will be playing.
Okay, and that's what she says. Focus is the key word. Focus is the key word, Melvin. Focus is the key word.
Yes, focus is the keyword, and you could see that, even Katongo, the captain, very excited, the morale very high, as she puts it, meaning that every individual player in the Zambia national side, squad, I think they are all, boosted with the morale and the cabin of the Pumulos who came from the COSAFA, which was recently held in South Africa. So I think Lesotho, rather. Thank you for that correction. So you see that the Zambia national side is ready for the game today, kicking off at 17 hours Zambian time.
Yes, kicking off at 17 hours Zambian time. We've done the needful, gentlemen, on the under 20. If you need to call us, please, as a listener or viewer, all you need to do is +260 212 617140. You can call us and send them best wishes. Talking about best wishes, I will be failing in my duties if I don't say happy birthday, Sabobo Banda. I mean, Joseph Sabobo.
We are sharing you there. We are sharing you there.
No, it's not true. His was yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
And he received a cake, just like I did one of these days on Sport News. Anyway, gentlemen, let's talk about the midweek games. Red Arrows did the unthinkable. They broke the jinx against ZESCO United since 2018. Who would have thought that the Airmen can actually beat ZESCO at their own backyard? Brilliant goals by, the first one was an own goal. The second one, brilliant goal by a young man, Ricky Banda. 5 goals to his name this season. Let's analyze that game more.
I think four legs, it was a tough game. And, of course, if you look at the last time Red Arrows lost a game was in October. So they have, I think, enjoyed a very good form. And they have only, this season, I think they have only lost... they have only lost 3 times. The first one, they lost 1-0 to Nkana, and then they went on to lose to Green Buffaloes, who are the log leaders. Then the last time they lost was against Kansanshi Dynamos, that 3-0 scoreline in Lusaka. Since then, Red Arrows have enjoyed good form, so they were going in this game with high spirits, and they were coming from, I think, a 2-0 bashing of Chambishi. Then they also went on to beat Cabo Warriors and Nkwazi. So you can see that the morale was very high, and of course, so far the man who's been outstanding for Red Arrows Football Club has been Ricky Banda, and knowing that James Chamanga of lately, yes, he's been more of a provider than a scorer. So Ricky Banda has risen to the challenge, and he seemed to be doing fine. But again, if you look at, I think, the defense for ZESCO United, you could see that there was some charitable defending in that team. The cohesion was not really there. That's led even to the coach Numba Mamba making two substitutes that should have been in the 34th, if not 35 minutes, substituting Adrian Chama and replacing him by Solomon Sakala and introducing Chandam Kuka, just to make sure that there is enough creativity in the midfield.
Yes, if you have the privilege of watching us on Topstar, you're watching those highlights right now. I know that this game was not showing on any screen, but our cameras were there, and this is what we captured. So in case you're watching, you have the chance to watch those highlights. I mean, Melvin.
Yes, Felix.
You have a squad of youngsters. Waisamba na wako tiabadi 6 against a youthful side. A team with a lot of energy. Is Numba losing the grip?
I would say yes or no. Yes, in the sense that, as you put it, yes. ZESCO is comprising of youngsters and experienced players. But for him to start with those, big boys and then leaving out the youngsters. I think with the game that Red Arrows displayed, I think Numba did not play his cards well. And when you look at the starting 11 for ZESCO, it tells you that even the consistency itself is not there. Yeah. You remember that ZESCO, they won last time. And again, going into the Red Arrows game, they lost. Meaning that there's no stability, consistency is not there, and we have been talking about consistency in football, because if you want to win games and then be on the top of the log, meaning that you must be consistent. The way Power, they are doing it, and the way Red Arrows is coming now, they're joint on number 2, standing on the log. So with the Green Eagles. So I think for me, ZESCO, yes, Mumamba, as you put it, he did not play his cards very well. Because why benching those youngsters and you start with the big boys?
I think, Folex, I want to agree with whatever you are saying, you guys, to say Numba Mamba of late hasn't been playing his cards very well, because you could see the game against Lusaka Dynamos. He made 2 changes in the first half, same time as he did at Levi Monosa Stadium. I think in Lusaka it was in the 36th minute. He substituted 2 players. Again, here at Levi Mwanawasa, again, we saw again making 2 changes. So it shows to say the coach at some point maybe he's not doing something right with his starting lineup. And you could see, like he said, inconsistency. This game, you find that we have a different lineup. Again, another game, you also have again 5-6 changes to the same team. That shows you, like, I think Numba Mamba even now doesn't know his best starting lineup.
He's still building the team.
Yeah. I think
I mean, we did a story in our newsroom regarding the building part, and that came with a lot of talk from the ZESCO faithfuls. They were not happy with his approach right now, and we couldn't. I mean, I could understand their pain, because just like Mo put it, he's changing lineups at will. And when are you going to build cohesion in a team? Because you need to have a core of the team.
Yes, it's behaving like Chambesh.
Yeah, and then you have at the moment, yes. Maybe no wonder I was picked as his assistant coach. Birds of the same feathers. Anyway, let's get your thoughts on +260 212 617140, and you can have an opportunity just to tell us what you think about what we've discussed so far.
But again, Folex, I think again the striking force for ZESCO United hasn't really come to the party. And if you look at ZESCO's top scorer this season is Kelvin Mangakampamba, who's a midfielder with 4 goals. And second to him is John Chingandu, who is another midfielder on 3 goals. So where are the strikers? Where are the likes of Winston Kalengos, the Jesse Wares, the Chitia Mususus? What are they doing?
That's because they are lacking cohesion. There's lack of cohesion in the team.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's about time now the coach. I think it all comes back again to the consistency, because that's where the part of, you find that in this game maybe he will play Jesse Were. Then Jesse Were will come to see him maybe again after 2-3 matches. That's when you come to see Jesse Were. As a result, there is no cohesion in the team, and as a result, you don't expect obviously them to get to that.
Okay, we have somebody on the line. Let's talk to them. Good morning.
Good morning, Rami.
please kindly reduce the volume on your radio set or your TV set. You are giving us terrible feedback.
Good morning, Lenny.
Yes, I can get you. Go ahead. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, this is Brian calling from the Worcester.
Okay, but Brian, your phone has some issues, but anyway, quickly, under a minute, I'll accommodate you.
Yeah, nataka kwenda pepa hiyo ile ya ZESCO. ZESCO kuli problem sana. Evako chezeka. Lero konde ku management yon like what a problem. Last time na request ko player moto ite singa na nko. I stand on the sana team corruption na ingia sana ku ZESCO. That's when team na liubana. So, sio kama ndatoa kwako.
Okay.
Mwaranda kuna management babumbe ko corruption na ikiramo.
Okay, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we lost you. Your line was a bit bad. Please make sure that anytime you call any TV station or any radio station, you reduce the volume on your gadget. Good morning. You're through to Sports with the Boys. Hello? Do we have somebody on the line? Good morning.
Good morning, Madam.
Mkwai, who are we talking to?
Isaac Katkata.
Okay, Isaac, may you reduce the volume on your gadget?
Oh, yes, I've done it.
Yeah, okay, please, go ahead.
First and foremost, I just want to wish Zambia women's under 20 all the best as they take on Ghana today. And therefore, when I play ZESCO, I think ZESCO this season about to disappoint. I'm not really happy the way they are performing. They have 40 players, but now I a perfect team with him. And if you compare ZESCO with ZESCO, who has 20 players in their squad, they are playing very beautiful football. Even they are attracting us. So apart from our management team, about this country, I think the Posequama, they have failed. Let them say that we have failed. So they changed the entire technical bench and the executive leadership. I think that's my take what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Mo, just coming to this. A lot of fans are calling for the head of the executive, chief executive officer. Is that the right way to go? That's number one. The second way, the way you settle grievances at ZESCO. I'm asking you this question because you are part of the fan club executive. Is this the way you handle issues?
I think Folex I was, but I'm no longer, yes. But I think during the time when I was the CEO of the fan club, I think we used to dialogue. You could write to them and you could meet them, I think, in a meeting. Then you'd ask them questions, they would respond to you, and I thought that was, for me, the best way of resolving issues. And like, obviously, going...
shouting and palatables at these, gentlemen and women in the VIP section.
Yeah, and of course, you know, those are adults, they've got families, and they've got children, and then when you're insulting them in public like that, for me, I don't think that is the best way of approaching or resolving issues. And again, secondly, I think I would like to agree with, of course, some of the caller, or is it the caller who just said, I think the problem at ZESCO United is beyond the Tekenko bench, the coaching staff, because of course I think Folex back then we had the likes of Chicken, and some fans called for the head of Chicken, and Chicken was I think shown the exits. Yes, Chicken was slaughtered, and again we brought in Numba Mamba, but again we are seeing the same mistakes or the same errors that we saw during the tenure of Chicken. So that shows to say, obviously, there is something wrong somehow, somewhere. And those problems are mostly pointing at the executive. It shows that, obviously, there is something that is not being done right. But again, even the Tekenko bench has got also a part to play in this. It doesn't just end on the Tekenko bench, but it again goes to the players. You know, because I think I was at the stadium, and yeah, there are just certain things that I can't come out on air and say, okay, this and that and that. But again, yeah, they are just a lot of things that is happening at the club right now that needs to be resolved as soon as possible.
I mean, people will alwaalways compare Mlenga's executive to Justin Mumba's executive. I mean, is that being fair?
I think Four Legs, obviously the comparison, I think it should have been some 3 days ago. I was chatting to some of the executive members that are in the fan club now. And of course, what they told me is that they have tried to engage the current executive for ZESCO United on several occasions. But again, the feedback is just not being given. It seems like they are not given the audience or the hearing that they deserve. And then the comparison now comes in when Dr. Justin Mumba was there. Fans were free to go to his office to air their grievances, and he would listen to them. And that is not happening with the current executive.
But are we going to be fair to blame the executive, Melvin? If we have a player, certain ZESCO players who are smoking shisha at 23 hours, I've met some that I can't mention on air, and the team fails to perform, I mean, that particular executive member maybe might have been asleep at that time.
Certainly not. You cannot blame the executive. You know, it's all about the individual player. You know, the input that that player puts to the team. You know, it counts. So in this case, it's really it's a two-way thing. It's either both they have to you know, to pull up their socks and then improve on the ZESCO. You know, the way ZESCO is performing. So for me, I think I would look at both sides. ZESCO, the executive should come in and also, you know, see where they are going wrong. Remember, ZESCO just recently were put out of the CAF Champions League, and if you look at also the technical bench, I think for me also they haven't done well going into, you know, even the way they are playing these league games. So I think it's the two they must be blamed, and then the best they can do is to dialogue, as Mo puts it. They need to dialogue. To dialogue rather than trying to bring all such comparison. It's like you're comparing Great Carlo and you know, the Kamanga executive, the way they are doing it. So that's no way the way to go. You have to dialogue, and then
of course, I think these two people have got different ways of style of managing things. And again, like I said, the problem is that's not the executive, the coach, but it's the executive, the coaches, and the players. They all have ears. So it's everyone involved. Because even the players, you could see that there is no really that sense of urgency. A player failing to trap the ball, you can't blame the coach or the executive for that. Obviously, as a player, I'll give an example of Ronaldo. We've seen, I think, so many stories where even his fellow players would say, Ronaldo, mule ko training, mwasanga tena nafika kale. Mule pusha training, mule fumako, mwala msanga tena chili. He's still there trying to work on those maybe mistakes, or just trying to improve on something. That is what we expect to see from a player who has got ambitions to play at the highest
look
level.
at what, just to cut you short more, look at what Eto'o is now the newly appointed president of Cameroon Football Federation. And look at what he did last week. Some members of staff who reported you know, after 8, when him had already reported by 7:20, he sent him back. You remember, so it means that he's serious of what he wants to do. So he's coming with his own ideas, and meaning that the players, every member of staff should, you know, just you know, follow what he wants to achieve.
I have a message here, and it came via Facebook from Kelvin Kaonga. Then the message says the EXCO has to go. On Reset Factory. You can tell that the players are just boycotting, so there is a problem at a club. Maybe the players are sending a message.
Yeah, I think maybe you could be right. It's obvious maybe the players are sending a message, but you know, of course, it's for the players, they don't just come on open to say, obviously, maybe we don't want this and that, but they've got a certain way of showing to say there is something that is not being done right, or we need some changes, and that is obviously one way. But again, those are just assumptions. We don't really know.
And then he goes on to say the defense was just too porous. The coach is losing his grip. Then he also says, looking at the performance of ZESCO, is below par, and the EXCO should take action before it's too late.
But
What type of action?
I tend to disagree that there's some extent of a boycott in the sense that, I've interacted with the ZESCO team in their camp, and then you see that the players themselves in the camp, they have that morale. There's a lot of morale going into a game that they play. So for me, I think the extent of saying that they are trying to show the boycott, I think for me, I think they are not just up to date in terms of their performance. They just have to pull up their socks. And if you look at the way they are losing games games that Levi Manasa is slowly turning into a slaughterhouse for ZESCO, where they are losing games. And then if they are to win, they are winning away.
Okay. Let's take this message, which says, "Good morning, 4 legs and 2 guys. There at the panel, no doubt the girls who beat the Black Mamba, it's not the Black Mamba, it's the Black Princesses of Ghana by 2 goals to 1. We can see from the coach and her captain, they are full in terms of they are fully confident. Yes, they have prepared very well. We are behind you guys. Coming to FAR's league, where Green Buffaloes, there is no difference with Chelsea. They are losing in a similar. Too bad for both teams. Okay, this is Eric from Mondora, particularly in Nkwazi. Okay, thank you very much, Eric, for that WhatsApp message. You can also do the same. All you need to do is send us that message to 0971 555 885. Let's go to something else, gentlemen. We have games that we expect to watch this weekend.